Hey, so will more blood spill over a drill? Depends on that lovable crackpot, Kim Jong-il. Yes, North Korea is blustering again, seen there, like something that blusters. The country's official news agency saying it will strike again at the South if a live-firing drill planned by Seoul goes ahead. Seoul? Yeah, it makes sense. You'll recall last month the North responded to similar drills by firing artillery shells on a disputed island, killing 4 people. Now, even though the South maintains the exercises are routine and justified, North Korea says the, quote, intensity and scope, end quote, of its retaliation will be worse. I think I know what they mean. See, I would be scared by that. I really would be scared by that. Hey, Gov, how concerned should we be about North Korea, really?
We really should be concerned because they're run by a lunatic and he's got a nuclear weapon. That's not a good combination.
You could say that about the United States, Governor.
No, we're not being run by a lunatic.
I'm kidding.
Seriously, I mean, you know, Kim Jong-il is a complete, total, certifiable loon, and the man has his hands on a nuclear device. That's not a good combination for anybody.
Matt, it seems to me that the governor is saying we should start bombing. What do you think?
Well, first of all, he's a hell of a golfer. Supposedly his first round he shot like a 50. I mean, this guy's amazing. He can do everything.
And you know he played it legitimately, right?
Yeah, he did play
it.
I don't want to drop the bomb on it because there's a lot of innocent people in that country that are stuck there because of this lunatic running the country. I will tell you, I talked to an ex-senior official recently, and they were saying that South Korea is almost like the antagonist here as well, though. They kind of run these drills. They get America over there and their allies over there so they can actually finally get rid of North Korea. So maybe this is a big...
because they're scared to death. They're sitting right there. The only people that eat in North Korea are the soldiers. Everybody else is starving.
But this country's this big. Can't we take care of them?
Well, they're this big, but you can be this big with a nuclear bomb, and there's a lot of damage that you can inflict upon all sorts of people. And look how close they are to South Korea, to Japan. I've been to the very border. I've seen those guys staring and peering, and I can tell you from the Japanese are scared to death of them, the South Koreans are scared of them, the Chinese are the only ones who can do anything about it. And
did they ask for your autograph?
Yes, all roads go through China. They're not doing anything.
I don't understand. How could a country be that big and be scary?
How could you even live in a country like that?
I don't
Unless you're
understand.
Lilliputian or some sort of Smurf creature.
I don't get it.
I don't even understand it.
I don't understand.
And Smurfs are 3 apples tall. They're too big for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Imogen, haven't we gotten to a point where we're just kind of used to them? Like we're used to them being crazy, so it's hard for us to get that excited. It's like my crazy Uncle Steve.
Okay.
You know,
I'm going to try and go with this.
All right, but crazy Uncle Steve.
I am Steve. Okay.
He likes to put doll heads on his fingers, and then
that's Bart.
Oh, that's Bart. That's Bart.
Yes.
We're so used to it now, we don't care. Do you see my point?
The problem is there is a bit of a worry because there's a change going on, father, son, all of that malarkey going on. Luckily, we do have an American president that knows the difference between North and South Korea.
Ooh.
Hopefully, the GOP will get...
Who's that a jab at?
Hopefully, the GOP will get a front runner that knows the difference between North and South Korea.
You mean Bill
and then we
Clinton
can
is
move
back.
forward. Yeah.
Wow, you must really hate Clinton. Hey, Bill, you've been in North Korea a number of times. What's your take?
Fact-finding mission.
Yeah.
And that's it. Can't emphasize that enough. They don't have a red light district. Never seen it. I'm so sick of this lame stalemate by Kim Jong-strokey and his incest victim kid. Like, as far as I'm concerned, have the lie. Oh, you've seen the guy. You've seen his son. Kim Jong-il's wife is also a sister. Have you seen his son?
I don't know.
He is awful. Oh,
I don't know if we can prove that.
He's playing a little banjo in the background. I say let them do the live drill and let's see what happens. Either we're going to call them on it or bad things are going to happen, and we take them out now rather than when they get much worse down the road. Let it happen.
Somebody's a hawk now all of a sudden.
I've always been a hawk, Greg. You've just never bothered to notice.
I love you.
I love you more.
I don't think that's possible.
Let's end this show and take on the weekend.
Let's go.
All right. See you, everybody. I call bed and breakfast.
All right. Vermont.
Oh, why not?
I'll drive.
We've missed the lead.
Oh, we got to rent a car.
Oh, we'll build a snowman.
Let's get an SUV.
No, let's not get an SUV. Of course we're going to get an SUV.
No, let's go first class
There's
on
plenty
Amtrak.
of room for all of you, but you're not coming.
I'm not coming.
No, we're not.
More elbow
What is
room for
happening?
us.
All right. Do you have a comment on the show?
I do. You don't want to hear it.
Email us. It's redeye@foxnews.com. And to leave a voicemail, my direct line, 212-462-5050. Still to come, the halftime report from TV's Andy Levy, a sad human being.
Boo, third wheel.
Tonight's halftime report is sponsored by the eastern bongo antelope. Despite being one of Africa's largest species of antelope, it remains endangered due to destruction of its natural habitat. Thanks Thanks, Eastern Bongo Antelope.
Welcome back. Let's find out if we've gotten anything wrong so far. For that, we go to TV's Dean Martin. So, Dean, what do you have?
You know, after the show, by the way, I'm going to probably put on some Monk or some Coltrane and smoke me a jazz cigarette.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for asking what I've got, Greg. What I've got is it's a tear of the triangular fibrocartilage complex, the TFCC, that goes across the wrist. It's the ligamentous and cartilaginous structures that suspend the distal radius and ulnar carpus from the distal ulna. Also got a dislocated ECU, that's the extensor carpi ulnaris tendon, and something called a positive ulnar variance, which sounds like it should be good.
Yeah.
Turns out it's not, so they have to shave the ulna because it's too long and it's rubbing up against another bone in my wrist.
Wow. So when you cut and paste this into the teleprompter,
Sure.
did you read over it first?
I did.
Okay.
I did. At that time, I could pronounce all those words.
Yeah.
Yeah, then the jazz cigarette kicked in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, it was worth
Yeah.
it.
Anyway, it's an old power drill injury, so
Well,
hopefully
well, we're all pulling for you.
it'll all be taken care
Soon
of.
you'll be pulling for yourself.
Yep. With this hand.
Actually, it sounds like I'll need help for that.
I didn't mean that. I didn't mean it in that way. You people, get your minds out of the gutter. We have a governor here. Future
Hacky.
president.
It's just hacky.
Yeah, it's hacky is what it is.
Also, I'm left-handed, so it's stupid. Obama signs tax bill. Governor, you said that what we've got here is a bill that the extremes of both sides hate. Sarah Palin calls it a lousy deal. Are you calling her an extremist?
No, I'm just saying that if you take the
I
far
think you were.
right, the far left, it's not necessarily extremist, but the extreme positions of both the Republican and Democratic Party. Anthony Weiner, for example, he thinks it's terrible. Sarah Palin thinks it's terrible. You know, you go figure. But the point is, when people who actually end up having to govern pass it, but nobody really loves it, they just accept it, it usually is a lot like marriage. Nobody gets everything they want. That's governing, like it or not.
All right. That's why I neither govern nor marry.
And that's probably good for both government and marriage.
Yes,
That's why I
absolutely. Anyway, my takeaway from that is Governor Huckabee says Sarah Palin is an extremist.
Now, that's going to be on the internet. I will be like blogged out of existence
Yep.
now.
She'll come after you on Facebook.
Yeah.
Bravely come after you on Facebook.
Bill, I checked. Charles Krauthammer, or Jewy CK, as I like to call him, is not usually wrong.
Is that turtleneck hiding a certain hickey I may or may not have given you? Because I would be proud of that, Andy.
It's really
It's like
not.
you're in third grade.
It's really
Express
not.
your hickey.
Also, Bill, I don't see what in
By the way, he is
Krauthammer's
wrong
I
about
don't see what in Krauthammer's article puts the Republican Party ahead of America.
There was nothing positive about what happened. He didn't go to explain why it was negative, other than the fact that it will have Obama reelected in 2 years. That's
I
why
actually
said
didn't.
it.
I didn't think he said there was anything positive or particularly negative. About, I mean, he pointed
You
out
thought
certain.
there was anything
He
positive about
pointed
it?
out certain things in the bill, but it just seemed to me the thrust of the article was that this was good for Obama. He didn't at any point say it was bad for America.
What he was stating was that it would be bad for the Republican Party because Obama would be reelected because the economy would rebound based on this temporary tax cut.
That's what I meant.
But he's not saying that it's not putting the Republican Party ahead of America. That's just making a political judgment that this might be bad for the Republican Party.
I don't see how that was not putting the Republican Party above America. Unless you're having dinner with him. And then I withdraw my
You're
hickey.
not smart.
Just because you're wearing a turtleneck.
Gregolog, Assange just wants to meet chicks. Imogen, you said Assange is creepy, which he obviously is. But that's not a crime, right?
No, absolutely not. And can I just say you're channeling Daniel Craig doing James Bond with that
Absolutely.
little sartorial thing going on.
That was
You look fantastic.
All right.
Don't listen
that was
to
absolutely
them,
the
Andy.
idea. That was absolutely
don't
the
listen to
idea.
them, Andy.
No more comments
All right.
on the clothes, please. Let's stick to the topics.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Unless it's on my tie.
Oh, man, he's looking cute.
Governor, you agreed with Greg's ridiculous assertion that in the spirit of transparency, Assange should waive his attorney-client privilege. But is it really hypocritical to think that people should be able to have secrets, but government shouldn't?
No, actually, governments ought to be able to have some secrets. If they can't keep secrets, then they can't actually carry on their business with other governments.
No,
And plus, there's some things
totally
like Bill's dossier.
No,
we want that secret.
I totally agree with you, Governor. I don't think it's hypocritical of him to say that governments shouldn't have secrets, but to still think that individuals should. I'm not saying I agree with him. I just don't think it's hypocritical of him to take that stance.
Well, I think you're deadly wrong.
And I agree with the governor.
Right.
And I think that the point is that his justification for revealing the secrets is that there is nothing that is so precious that it can't be revealed because the truth is more important. Well, if the truth about who he really is, that he's a creepy jerk that is basically chasing women all over the world, And he's presenting himself as this great noble man who's trying to save us from war, when the reality is he's nothing more than a predator after women who are gullible. Then yes, I think it's perfectly okay to find out what kind of individual he really is. And let's let the world realize that he's no hero. He's a zero.
Yeah, and by the way...
That's all well and good, Governor, but the fact that you think Sarah Palin is an extremist, just to me, makes your opinion null and void.
I did not say that, but I do think you are an extremist.
By the way, the best WikiLeaks story so far just came out on Friday. It turns out, according to these cables, Cuba banned Michael Moore's documentary Sicko because it painted such a mythically favorable picture of Cuba's healthcare system that the Cuban authorities feared it would lead to a popular backlash if they showed it there, because the Cuban people would realize they weren't actually getting that kind of care.
Amazing. See, now this is the problem with WikiLeaks. I despise Julian Assange. I don't think it's journalism. All it is he's receiving stolen information. Yet, God, I love that information. I mean, that story is a great story. Yeah. We now know that Michael Moore, we always knew that he was an ideologue who exaggerated and lied.
Right.
But Cuba admits that and won't even show the movie. That's an amazing story. It's amazing.
It's like the Soviets used to call Westerners who blindly okayed everything they did, they call them useful idiots.
Yeah.
Michael Moore, he's a useless idiot. They can't even use his stuff.
Truly, we kill the messenger, yet love the message.
Yeah. Now wants Hooters to stop serving minors. Governor, I'm with you. If you don't want your kids to see boobs, drink beer, and eat wings, you have no business being a parent. Oh, well, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. That was Matt. That was Matt. That was Matt.
I don't even think that's close to
no,
what
that
I
was
said.
that was Matt. My bad.
But you know what? I didn't call Sarah Palin an extremist either.
Okay.
So
all right.
let's do your halftime report. You're fundamentally wrong tonight on about everything.
Matt, I agree with you on that.
Thank you.
Is what I meant to say. Okay, and just North Korea threats. Matt, you said you talked to someone who says that South Korea antagonizes the North by running these military exercises. Outside of dupes like Michael Moore, who actually believes that?
Well, you think about it. It's like the big brother just trying to get it, and you have no money. You're this little country. You want to get things. How do you get it? How do you get the United States on your side? You get a bad person come after you, get the bully to come after you, and the other guy stick up for you. It actually makes sense.
Are you saying South Korea is a little country with no money?
I am. I'm saying to the little guy in the playground, they want the big bully to be behind them as the bigger bully is coming after them in South Korea. It's a whole big game.
You might want to check on South Korea's economy. I think it's pretty damn good.
They make all of my Transformers.
Yeah.
They do. That alone, it's probably made their country rich.
Also, some of you were asking how people could live in a country as small as North Korea, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Average height, 5'5".
Oh, interesting.
Greg, you would truly be a giant.
Aren't I already?
Well, no.
Oh.
I'm done.
Go away, Matt Helm. Coming up, what's the resale value of vintage porcelain dolls? Governor Huckabee discusses his new hobby. But first, look at my nose. What will our robots ask Mike Huckabee? Mostly questions about robot issues. What do you expect? They're heartless monsters.